Hello everyone, I am Sudhakar. In this video, we will be sharing the experience of Miss Rucha Joshi, who has been placed as a software engineer, hardware technology in Apple for its Bangalore location. Before we listen to Rucha, I would like to introduce her formally to our viewers. Rucha is a final year MTech student in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Bombay. For her MTech project, she is working on large system analysis of linear pre-coding in multiple user, multiple input, single output broadcast channels. During her MTech, she has worked as a teaching assistant for several labs, including the Communication Lab, Digital Signal Processing Lab, etc., in the Department of Electrical Engineering. She has secured AIR 40 in Gate Electronics and Communication Engineering in 2019. Her technical skills include familiarity with programming languages like C, C++, Python, etc. She completed her BTech in Electrical Engineering from the College of Engineering Pune in 2018. Without further delay, I would request Rucha to share her experience of getting placed in Apple. Thank you, Rucha. Thank you for accepting my request.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I could contribute to your good work.
Welcome. Thank you very much. So, Rucha, could you please tell us a bit about the form? Definitely, Apple, we know about this form, but the profile which you have been offered, actually, if you could tell us a bit about the form in brief and the profile which you have been offered.
Yeah, so basically, as you said, we all know what Apple company is. And the profile is, as you said, software engineer, hardware company, hardware technology. But like it sounds that the profile is software, but it's not actually. As the description of job says, it's titled Embedded 4G, 5G, Cellular RF, Software or Firmware Engineer. So the description basically was mostly I am very interested in wireless communication. So they needed wireless communication engineer. Like they now Apple is working on incorporating new technologies like 5G, 6G into their devices so as to perform, so as to increase the performance of the devices. So they needed someone who is very, very well versed with these technologies and who can implement, who is working on it in their projects as well. So the description was entirely about wireless technologies and wireless systems, and they also needed someone who is comfortable with the digital signal processing. And also some part of it was like they needed good computer architectural knowing person, and some basic coding like C, C++, they required that. And also there was no CPI cutoff as such. Actually, before the hardware profile also, Apple had offered only software profile. There was this profile was not offered before, and it was offered very late. I remember, I guess after mid-November, they opened this JAF. And yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you mentioned that, so as I can perceive that there were two different JAFs, means one for software and one for firmware.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you have been selected for the firmware engineer profile.
Yeah.
Yes. And like you mentioned that they were looking for a person proficient in communications, and since you have already worked for several labs like communication lab, DSP lab, so I think those experience would definitely have helped you, in
Yeah,
getting or appearing for its interview.
yeah, definitely.
Yes. So, a couple of things which are like your experience becomes unique and in fact important for our upcoming students in this sense that I guess in the last 2 years, as I know that Apple visited IIT Bombay for the first time. Last year we did not have Apple in our campus.
Yeah,
And this time, as I have been told that you are the only one who have been selected for this particular profile, right?
yeah.
So yeah, so it says a lot about this profile, and of course you could crack its interview. And the people, the number of people who shortlisted for the software profile.
For software profile, I guess around 7, 8 people.
They have been
And I was not shortlisted for software profile.
okay.
But and after it was very like like in the culture, like how the placement season is like a company comes and all the jobs, it's opening all the jobs at one time. So we did not expect that Apple is opening any other profile. It was been requested by the students to open some hardware job also. So we, yeah, initially for software profile, nobody, I don't think all the computer science people were shortlisted. I don't remember, I don't memorize, yeah, that electrical people were shortlisted. It was tough. The test was tough for software profile.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can now talk a bit about the things which happened after signing the JAF. Like you mentioned that this JAF was opened a bit late.
Yeah.
Earlier they were only having software engineer profiles, but eventually they also opened another profile for firmware engineer. So after signing the JAF, and as you have already mentioned that there was no CPI cutoff. So could you please tell us a thing about like how many departments this JAF was opened for this firmware engineer?
As I recall, only electrical department, that too dual degree people and MTech. Only for these two people they opened the JAF for. Not CS people also they did not open, because their basic requirement was wireless communication, like people knowing wireless communication and signal processing, and the software part was like a minimum requirement, like basic computer skills, it's fine. So the main requirement was wireless profile, RF communications.
Yes. So that's why they only considered electrical students, and that too only dual degree and master students.
Yeah.
Okay, so so I think they were quite selective about the pool of students.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after signing the JAF, then you signed the JAF means only electrical people were allowed. So definitely it was a very small pool, I can say. Then there was no CPI cutoff. And so what happened after signing the JAF means there was any resume shortlisting or all of the students allowed to take the test. What happened after signing the JAF?
As mentioned in the JAF, they usually mention the process they are going through. So in the JAF, it's not mentioned resume filtering, though we have obviously we submitted the resume. Then directly we had a test of 1.5 hours, and then there was shortlisting for interview.
Okay, so everyone who signed the JAF was allowed to take the test.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit about the test, like the test pattern, the sections, or and after that also how you prepared, given that it was very unique profile firmware engineer. So the test pattern and how did you prepare for that test actually?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the requirement, though the requirement was for core subjects, but the test was totally like computer related. It was 1.5 hour test, and it had only two sections. First section was I guess there were around 24 questions, and 3 were codes, and codes were very simple, basic codes. I don't recollect the questions, but it was like sorting and a mathematical type of coding questions. And there they offered like you can select any language you are comfortable with, and the rest of the questions were MCQs, but coding related, C++, and data structures related. So I suggest that data structures and coding, basic at least C++ coding, you have to be thorough with. Data structures you have to start from, like our senior suggested it way before. So we had started studying data structures like linked list, arrays, and trees. These are very important for all the companies we sit for. So yeah.
So in the test, there was nothing about firmware. It's mainly about software. Means writing, as you mentioned, that there were 3 codes where you had to write the codes and run it, and then there were some MCQs, and that MCQs were mainly focused on programming language itself.
Yeah.
Data structures and finding the output, maybe.
Yeah.
Any questions on like computer architecture, DBMS, and all these things?
No, they were basic data structures related. I guess computer architecture basic questions were there, but it was basic. All the questions were basic, like answerable, and the coding questions were also basic. Just that they had too many test cases, and only one question was very difficult, and all the test cases didn't run for me. And but like rest of the two were very simple questions, and all the test cases were qualified. And this was the case for everyone. Like I remember asking everyone, everybody, that coding questions were comfortable. Everybody were.
So I guess that the test was not so, not so tough. It was
Yeah,
a bit easy as compared to
yeah,
software questions. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And you could solve two coding questions completely and one partially.
yeah,
So how did you prepare for, given that you come from a electrical engineering background? Of course, we
yeah.
also do coding in that sector, but how did you do something extra for preparing for, coding or programming languages?
So I'm that kind of a person that I'm very not very comfortable with coding, and I know that I know too many people who are not very comfortable with coding, and like basic C plus plus C also they are not comfortable. But I would say I mean IITB has a very good culture of taking all the placement activities, and they have practice coding activities, everything. So I would suggest attend all the tests like sincerely within time bound and etc. That helped me a lot. And as I said, seniors helped us. They like from April, May itself, they suggested us to start going through data structures and start implementing basic things on your own. And there are various platforms like Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, people know it. So Geeks for Geeks is very good for, learning data structures and all. So these basic things, if you keep on doing it, keep on giving some time throughout the semester, you can like easily uh, learn these things. And rest tech like core subjects, gate level signals and systems and communication, and basic algebra, maths. For wireless communication, I'm talking about wireless profile because I was doing it. I had a backup of ML, but I did not study it much because I was really interested and I wanted to work in wireless itself. So and for wireless, people who are interested in this profile, I would suggest to start, watching Aditya Jagannatham video lectures, NPTEL video lectures on YouTube, and they are very helpful. And I used to watch them and take out notes. That is all I have prepared throughout the placement season.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so like you mentioned that basic coding everyone should be comfortable with nowadays. I think almost all the companies they do test coding ability at some point or the other. So yeah, like you mentioned that you prepared the data structures, algorithms, and C++ things, and you
Yeah,
also mentioned the various resources like HackerRank, HackerEarth,
yeah,
Interview Bit. Depending on how
yeah,
much time or patience you have, you can explore
yeah.
as many platforms as you want. That's
The
very
more the better.
the more the better. Yeah, but it's better to dive deep on a particular platform rather than कि थोड़ा थोड़ा
Yeah,
टच है किसी एक में पूरा जाओ. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And you also suggested the ways like how to prepare for core questions like similar
yeah,
system questions. In
yeah,
your case, yeah, since you had an rank of 40 in GATE, so I guess you already had all these things in your mind. So definitely, if you are prepared well for GATE, so that thing should come handy while preparing for the placements.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yes, yes. So one more thing that you finished your BTech in 18, right? And then you
Yeah,
joined IIT Bombay in 19.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this 1 year you are preparing for GATE or
yeah. Actually, I had appeared for GATE 2018 while I was in BTech, but I could not score much like as I expected. And I had actually applied for RA ship that year, but I could not pass the interview that year. So next, the entire year, 2018 to GATE 2019, I prepared for GATE like all by myself. and yeah.
Yeah, so finally your hard work during that 1 year paid off well, and then yeah, you got a decent, in fact, very decent rank of 40.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, so we discussed about the test actually, like the pattern of the test, and test was quite about coding only. There was no questions on hardware or firmware.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so can you please tell? Okay, now coming to, you have discussed about test, syllabus, CPI cutoff, eligible departments, courses, all these things. In your case, means I was going through your resume, so definitely you have done, very extensive work in this field, in the field of communications, and like your MTP, your I guess your seminar, everything was aligned in that area. In fact, your internship as well, like you
Yeah,
worked with Bharti Airtel. So, and then your course projects, everything was quite aligned. Though you had a backup of machine learning, so
yeah,
for the upcoming students, like those who want to pursue their career in wireless communications, like you
yeah.
get to. So, what advice do you give them, that how should they prepare their resume, or which project should they focus on while studying? So, if you could talk a bit about building your resume for wireless communications perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, firstly, whatever field you are interested in, you should be clear about it at least one semester before. Because in case of TS, most of the times, first semester they end up like they are trying to settle firstly. So, they are not very sure of which field to approach. At least by second semester, you need to be sure what profile you're interested in, where you want to work, and accordingly approach your guides and professors to align your seminar and MTP in that direction. Because I mean, it's very important that whenever you approach a company for the profile you sign up, the first impression, because in my case that was the thing, that first impression was my MTP and my seminar. They created the first impression, and it lasted. All my interview was along that direction. So that was very important. MTP and seminar are very important in interview, and for interviewer also, it shows that how interested, how much you have worked in it. And uh, and secondly, yeah, my internship was though they did not see about we did not talk about it in the interview, but as a resume, like most of the time there are resume filtering, so they see these things. So if you have an internship in that field, it's good that you write it in your resume. It creates a good impression. If you have publication, it's best. I mean, it is very best. And also, there's a format of writing resume. Like if you have a publication, you write it on the top. Before MTP also, like major product, you write it on the top. That creates a very good impression, and your like interviewer sees that first before projects also, they see these things. And yeah, internship and course projects, actually in our case, due to COVID, second semester was cut down, and we did not have very much to write. Like we did not have many projects to write it in resume, so we actually approached some professors to so that we can, like, can we do something in like 2-3 months so that we can write it in. And so one project, me and some of my batchmates, we did it under Sibi sir during the lockdown period. And others was some of the assignments that were major, we took permission from the professors and we wrote it as a course project. So I can like suggest that you can do that also in like I that would not be the case for upcoming juniors. And so but we did that in our case. We did not have much to write, but you can do whatever. Like nowadays people are doing R&D projects and also.
Yes.
So yeah, you can write everything. And secondly, as you can see in my resume, whatever major concepts or major technologies I'm using in my MTP or something, I have written it in the bold letters. That it draws attention of the interviewer, and it's like your resume is your question paper in interview. So you can like lead your interview in that direction. If the interviewer sees that things, you should be ready with it, and you can speak about it. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You like the best part which I liked about that you guys found out some projects during that lockdown period.
Yeah.
When people were, getting disappointed that we are stuck at home, you are making use of that time. And I
Yeah.
also know some of my friends and the previous guests who came who discussed their experience. So they were also like they were making use of virtual learning, like
Yeah.
Coursera. They were learning something
Yeah.
or the other skill set. So
Yeah.
definitely the profile which you have in your mind. So you should work on building your resume in that direction. And
Yeah.
the better, the sooner the better. This we can definitely say. And
Yeah.
one thing, like you mentioned, that publication is definitely a good idea, and you can put it on the top. And I guess some people also, like Saurabh Patil here, also mentioned this thing that publications are really hold a very important point while applying for any particular profiles. But
Yeah.
I also heard from some people that if you mention publication in your profile, it might go against you. They might throw a question that why don't you go for a PhD? So, what is your take
Yeah.
on this?
You should be ready with it. Actually, during there were interview workshops also held by IIT Bombay, and these things were mentioned. Like, I mean, you people also ask that if you are doing so well, why don't you go for PhD, and why do you want to do a job? You don't. Did you not think of doing a PhD?
Yeah.
But I mean, like first reaction, because my kind of long term, someday I want to pursue PhD, but not now. Obviously I want to work, but first instinct of like people are, yeah, I want to do PhD, but you cannot say that in an interview. That creates I mean, wrong impression. So you can come up with some answer, and like, no, you can say that now I want to gain some practical knowledge and want to apply whatever I have learned, want to apply for the benefit of the company. These things you can say, like, there are too many things one can come up with. But yeah, the first instinct is, yeah, I want to, yeah, or like that. But you need to be calm, and you need to be attentive in the interview, and you need to be like, you need to know what you're talking. I
Yeah.
mean, you should be aware, and just not talk anything that comes to your mind. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to hold yourself and you have to watch your word before they come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so like you mentioned that resume building is a process which one should spend, significant amount of time. And at IIT Bombay, since resumes are frozen, I think by August or something, so it's better that you have a very good draft before that.
Yeah, yeah. You need to keep working, and you need to, like, I have sent my resume drafts to my seniors, my batchmates, everyone I have said, and like, I used to take feedbacks every time. Like, once I took feedback, I corrected it. Again, I sent to some other people. You can send it to professors also. They help you to build a good resume, because there are small things like, initially the first draft was, I wrote too much, and there were white spaces. So my senior suggested me that there should not be white spaces in resume. It should, like, if there's only one word in a line, you should take it to the, like, you should adjust so that it should come in the first before line only, and there should not be white spaces. It feels like you have just filled it somehow. Somehow you have filled 2 pages, but you don't have much to write. That is not a good presentation of a resume. So that these small points get to know from your seniors, because they have that experience. So I suggest that you start building your resume, start writing your resume beforehand, and keep on getting feedbacks from like number of persons.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. You should be very careful of each and everything. And
Yeah.
like you pointed out, the white space thing, all these things, definitely we should be very, very careful about all these things. And I also saw in your resume that you have done several courses, like digital message transmission, information theory. So I guess, and I have also seen in the resume of other people that the profile which they were looking for, they actually did, at least 3 to 4 courses in that domain. And
Yeah.
that also gives a boost, I guess,
Yes.
that you are prepared for that particular profile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you are comfortable, and then with your kind consent, we can also make your resume public. With your kind consent, definitely.
Yeah. Sure. I have no problem.
Yes. So we can add a link of your resume in the description of the video, and
Yeah.
then yeah. So that because sometimes people get stuck like how to write this point, or what an ideal, or at least the very first draft should look like. So
Yeah.
obviously one can
Like,
always better, yeah.
there are too many small things. Like, since as I told that I was applying for ML profile also. That was backup, but I had resumes for ML and wireless profiles differently, because see, as you mentioned that I have written courses for ML profile. I would mention machine learning and related courses on the upper line. But for wireless communication, I would mention like information theory, digital message transmission, signal processing. These courses I would mention before. So like these are small things that we miss out, but they are very important.
Yes.
And they also save interviewers time and make convenient for them to like go through your resume, because there are like thousands of resume one person has to go through. Like, to make your resume stand out between all these, among all these resumes, you have to struggle. Like, we were like 1 month we were preparing for resume, and you have to give time. Like, people would think that resume is just like your information, but it's not. You have to make a good impression in the resume itself, so that you go till interview at least.
Yeah, definitely. Very true. Yeah, that's why you are the means like I can see that you have articulated your resume very, very well, and means at least in the first look, people can feel that yeah, she has done some extensive job, and of course, the technical person will be able to find some questions out of it, and they can ask some questions. But the structure, in the way in which you have ordered all these things, that is pretty amazing. And
Thank you.
yeah, I guess people should also take a lesson from this, that resume is the, since it's frozen in the very beginning, so you should spend some significant amount of time to prepare it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, Rucha, we have discussed the test. We have also discussed about resume. So I guess we have covered the things which happened before the interview.